Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is, of course, the playthrough of the Wizard at the 5th and last class of Diablo 2. And I am bringing you OMFG lag, because that is my name, and here I am. I should be. There we go. Perfect. That's not the right button, that was one of my friends. That is the friends list. Do not go there and look, because then I will cry. I'm trying to find out if it's actually possible to see your own name anywhere. I think it should be, but apparently not. Well, I'm alright. Hello, Leia.
Uncle,
just spamming through this, but there we can see.
Please, Uncle.
Can I say anything more? Can I say anything more? I want to see my name because it's so ugly. It's so... No, of course not. Now.
The skeleton
are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
He was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He lost both of them.
There we go. OFG lag! Really sorry for thinking last night. And by last night I mean last morning. It was at the night. I woke up at 4 AM. 3 hours of sleep. I woke up and thought, well, I'm awake. Cannot go back to sleep, because I wasn't particularly tired. So I went up, took a cup of tea, and I recorded some Diablo 3. That was not a bad idea. I was so tired last night. I was stupidly tired. And I was trying to study as well. And over the day as well. I was actually taking a long walk alone in the rain, because I was so tired I couldn't really... I was going to fall asleep in my chair, so I'd say, well, I'm going out. I cannot fall asleep. And that... text that I actually sent to my supervisor, and it's not really my supervisor. I'm not really called, but kind of sort of my teacher. He's going to help me with the text. I'm just missing the words right now. Anyways, I sent him to him today and say, well, it's kind of just a bit crude text. It's not really perfect, and he's just going to resign from his job and then go shoot himself, because it was that awful. And it's not coherent at all. It's like, okay, I have something in the beginning here, which is awful. Then I decided, well, I'm not really getting anywhere with that now. So let's skip that for now and go with my questions. Write a bit about that, and I did that for a while. And then I thought, no, what is the material I'm using? And for my...
Couldn't have done this without
what is the word I'm looking for?
I'm in your debt.
Ah, damn it.
My name is Hedrig. Well, Hedrig, can you find his
it's just banking. Well, never mind. I'm using literature to do a study of a religion in literature. In fact, I'm doing it fantasy literature, to be more exact, and not about a real, you know, how you can find the real religions, but more how the religions in the books affect those living in those worlds. And I started to, you know, what material was going to describe that. And the first series I'm working with is War of the Spider Queen, written by 6 different authors, but supervised by Salvatore, who wrote the books about Drizzt Do'Urden. It's one of his book series. And I'm not. It's a decent series. I think it's good. I like them. But there's a so long story, and it's really, you know, focusing on how problems occur when the goddess is really responding as they choose. And other, so I can describe that a little, and not really in depth, but still some. And then I was going to describe the other series, which is Game of Thrones, which I was told to, you know, really contain a lot of this religion stuff. And I've seen the series, and then I actually bought the books during this big book sale. And I started to read the first one. They're quite so long, and I haven't really finished the first one, so I have about 3,000 pages to read. And well, hopefully next week. So that will be fun. But they're great books, so it's alright, and I kind of bought it to myself. I probably do not have to finish all of them. But still, try to write shortly about a series, very overarching, without really knowing what's going on in them. It's a bit tricky, I have to say that. So that part wasn't particularly good. And then I decided to, well, I'm not really going anywhere with this, so... I was also supposed to write something about the didactic way to approaching this, because well, I have to do that when becoming a teacher. So I was like, well, can maybe work together with religion, social sciences, maybe. Yeah, kind of stretching that one out. And the last part I was writing about was what has been written earlier about fantasy, started with that, and that actually turned out quite decent, at least compared to the rest of the sheet. So he's going to die a little inside. That was a long story about nothing while killing crap here. I hope you enjoyed it. I so tell you. So I'm happy, and of course I like to do this, and I hope that anyone actually watch this actually gets some enjoyment out of it. But I also enjoy doing it because I have the a reason to sit and talk to myself about my crappy life, which isn't really that crappy, but I like to whine about it nevertheless, because that's what people do, and I want to be a part of that. I want to whine about my awful life. Yeah, so and most things that is crappy in life is usually by choice. So yeah, enough about that. It should go back to Diablo. Oh, I forgot something. I actually got to level up quite a while ago. So let's see, magic missile with a charge. Well, let's see, what is it called? Charge blast, increase the damage. So should I use that? I will do that because I can. Doesn't really change. Maybe
Still waiting.
color of it something, but still just single target. So it's particularly fun. But since I have this orb of kill everything, let's put it that way. It's probably alright anyways. I will do just fine. And I'm a bit sad that this is the last playthrough, because I really enjoyed it. I enjoy the game. I can still play the game, of course. That's not really a problem, but it's kinda, yeah. There's no point in recording everything once again. But we'll figure out other stuff to do as always. If you have any ideas of what you want to see, currently I only have can give you footage from the beta, because kinda do not have the full game since barely no one have it. And especially not I, and if I had it, I would be playing that instead of making videos, at least to start with. So yep, leave a comment if there's anything you want to see, and also please press the like button, please press the subscribe button if you like my videos. I do like doing them, but of course I like to see that people actually watch them, because it's a lot more fun to do great things if they are appreciated. And yes, I know my videos are kinda crappy. I'm actually planning to try to step it up a bit. And by doing that, I will have to show off my awesome, epic video editing skills. In upper secondary school, I actually worked, not a lot, but some video editing. So I know the basics, but I'm not good, and it's been so long since I actually worked with it, so it will be interesting. But yeah, it will be fine. Finally, hopefully.
Apprentice is dead. I should tell him.
And I do have some ideas, but well, if it's anything, just put it there, and I will look into it, see if I'm actually able to do it. And it's not, if I'm not, it's not because you're saying, well, you want to see this epic, awesome thing that's impossible to do. It's more like, well, you want to see this thing that's epically cool, but easy to do. But I am awful at, working with videos and things like that. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. It will be alright, and of course when Diablo 3 is released there will be a lot of content to play around with. Guides, things like that. Footage of the different bosses, different strategies, different character builds. And that might be something you should probably consider when... Yeah, and of course, I'll take that soon, but I forgot if there will be some kind of replay function. I will do coverage of Diablo PvP once that gets out, because I am looking forward to it. Not as much playing, but watching and commenting on it, because I really like that. It's the same with StarCraft 2 as well. I like that. I love it as an esport. Diablo 3 will not be as stable, as balanced as StarCraft 2, because it's impossible to do that. But it can still be good and can still be entertaining. I want to go into that as a spectator, as a commentator, not as a player, or play it as well. That will be the focus. So really hoping they're implementing some kind of replay function, some kind of way to arrange we are going to face. You know, basic stuff. It shouldn't be that hard. And yeah, well, enough about that. I was talking about something. What was it I was talking about? I should just be quiet. I was going to make a point, but then I remembered something and forgot it. Well, let's skip. So I got myself. Yeah, now I remember. When I'm doing guides, that was the point I was making. When I'm doing guides, or if I'm doing guides, they will not be min-maxing guides, because I'm not playing this game at that way. Maybe if I can do some recommendations later on how to PvE very efficiently, and I usually am able to figure this out, but it's not that hard. And I will have some kind of idea how things work out good for me, or probably for me and my friends. That doesn't mean that it will work out for you. So my guides are more a recommendation. This is a way you can play, and I think it's really fun, because that is the main focus. I will have one character which I'm going to use for mainly magic finding in order to sell on the auction house. I will do that. I will try to get some money. I'm not going to be rich. I'm not going to live upon doing that, you know, have that as my single income. But I will do that, and hopefully one day I made all the money back that I actually spent on the game when I bought it, and that's pretty much my goal. And we are here at the Cemetery of the Forsaken, so we are... Ooh! Jackal Hammerhand. Bring it, bitch. Damn it! I am lagging around. What's going on? Slow. Oh, you're slowing me, bastard. Stop that.
Still waiting.
Stand there. This is alright. This is how it's supposed to go. I'm not doing it wrong, I'm just doing it a bit differently. There's something with this game and fire weapons. At least today. Should I go back to town? No, not yet. I can probably get some more crap if we go there. And I can get level 7 for going there as well. I like that. Ray of Frost. Numb. Project Beam. Yeah, that's the increased amount of the target's movement is slowed. So you will pretty much slow even more. This is what you got earlier. They actually changed this in the last patch, which came out 2 days ago. No, actually yesterday. Yesterday morning it was, you know, open up. So what's it today? Monday it must have been when they actually put out the patch in the state. Just taking a sip of the drink here and spilling it all out over my keyboard, over myself. How good. Luckily for me, I have papers and you are here to watch it. Well, not really watch it, but to hear it. There we go. You should always have paper ready. Yeah, Sleetstorm, you create some kind of aura around yourself. They actually changed that, so I will show you what you have instead. Although I'm not really that fond of it. I don't really like rays. I like the last one, where you was surrounded by an RF effect. Now we have this a bit larger beam that actually slows even more. So let's go with that for a while. just to show it. A bit sad, but still I understand it was greatly overpowered, especially this late in the game. Damn it! Leave me alone, I'm so afraid! Why am I so afraid? They're not really that dangerous, are they? Please die! Get away from me! Get away from me! You too? Yeah, no. Oh yeah! Races of the Lion. I don't want the strength. I think that's strength. Yeah, it is. I actually have Embraces of the Lion already, so yep, how neat. Well, this shield is great, so I'm going to use that. Now we've seen that, let's get rid of it. I do not enjoy that at all. I don't think it's bad, but I do not enjoy playing with it. Simple as that. Lots more enjoyable skills. There were some skills earlier on. I will actually show it to you. I cannot use it because it's limit, you know, out of bounds right now. It was called Electrocute. It was really fun. You will shoot lightning. It will kind of like chain lightning. It will you will shoot it, and it will arc around. And in the beta, it could hit up to 2 additional enemies. Didn't deal a lot of damage, as you can say, 80%, but it will jump so up to, what is it, 160 to 240% of your damage if you are lucky, hitting 3 targets. That was so amazing, really fun to play with. And I understand that they're switching around, but I miss it. And of course they will switch around. They want to see. First of all, I'm quite sure they want to see how things are, and when you know different skills, different levels. And of course, they have the bonus of actually being able to show off some of the skills, because they want to hype the game. Why wouldn't they? Of course, they want to hype a game that is released. What is it? 5 weeks? Actually, less than 5 weeks. It was 5 weeks yesterday. Barely a month away. That's barely a month. That's wrong. Just over a month away. I thought something was wrong in that sentence, and there it was. At least find out some of it. So, yep, they're hyping their game, and people are hyping their game. And that is awesome. I really like that. And as I said in some earlier video, I'm hyping myself as well. So why not? I'm going to play this game, I'm going to enjoy it, and it doesn't really matter how bad it is, I'm going to enjoy it because I can. Oh yeah. Not going into all that once again, because it was more interesting for me than for you, I would assume, to talk about that. How can it still be fluids from my glass? Water is, of course. What's on my keyboard? I thought I actually cleaned it up, but apparently I didn't. I'm awful at cleaning. Oh yeah, I need to do the dishes as well. How fun. Although it's never that bad. I do not have a dishwasher. I have to do it by hand, but I found out a great system not to have to do that. I have to do it a bit more. Oh, it cannot be as bad. That is, would I have like 5? I think I have more knives than forks actually, and even more spoons. But I have like 5 or 6 forks, and the same with the knives. A bit more spoons, but that doesn't really matter. I have 3 plates that I'm actually using, which means that after 3 meals I kind of have to do the dishes. It's easy as that. I have to do it because otherwise I have.
This looks like a crypt fit
Oh,
for a
what
chance.
can I do?
The crown must
Have
be
to.
here.
It's great. So I never have more than 3 plates to clean. That's neat. This guy refused to be frozen. Oh, mother of things that are big and hurt.
Need more arcane power.
Please die. Get away from me. Get away. Stop. 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 Stand still. Aha! Got you, bastard. Ooh, okay, I'm a bit cornered here, so hopefully we'll die. Die, yes. I'm just that good. That's the reason for this. Greater pants with more experience points. Oh yeah. Rings. That is also one of my goals when I'm leveling up first character. I will grab everything with a lot of extra experience points. Not necessarily to use, but to sell. Yeah, not sell, save. Please be quiet. I will save it for later on, because I will play this game from level 1 at least 5 times. On software, it's probably even more hardcore, because I'm going to die and have to restart. And this is just dying, then neither is this. And of course it's good to have a great gear that actually gives you extra experience points, because you will level up also. Yes, it's kind of sad that when you're through with hell, finish that off, you are supposed to be at level 60. I think that is what is said. I'm not really sure. I have no blues close or everything. It just feels like I've heard that somewhere sometimes. But even though it might be the case, maybe it's not. It doesn't really matter. It's always good to maybe level up fast.
I don't have enough arcane power.
Of course, if I find good gear, I can save that as well to be able to level up. Because one part of the game, the secret of leveling up fast, is to have the ability to get extra experience points. But we can do some simple math, because that's always fun. I will not take the town portal yet. I will go through 2 other dungeons as well. If you are just focusing on getting a lot of gear that gives experience points, you will not gain as much damage. Simple as that. So we'll come a point. Well, would you rather kill 2 monsters in, let's say, 100 monsters in 1 minute, and they will give you a total of 1000 experience points. These numbers are just you know, plain wrong, but let's pretend, because pretending is good. Pretending is good for examples. I really think so. So let's say that 1 minute, 1000 experience points. But let's put it like this instead. I will do this. You have 1 minute. You will get 20 experience points per mob you kill. Let's say that. 20. And in 1 minute you are able to kill 10 mobs. That would give you a total of 200 experience per minute. It's not that hard to, you know, see. It's not the right numbers, but that's not the point. Because you get these 20 experience points per mob because you have a lot of extra experience. And then you have another character. You only get 10 experience points per mob, but you are able to kill 23 mobs per minute. What would happen then? Well, of course, you get less experience points per mob, not per, you know, over time. You would actually gain 230 experience points each minute. Diablo 3 may have many problems, but one of them is not that you're running out of enemies. That is not the problem of this game. You're not limited in that fashion. You can kill all day, all night, and when you're done with that, you can just jump up out of the game and jump into a new one, and you can do it over again. In fact, that is pretty much the end game as far as I know. And it definitely was in Diablo 2. You went in there, you killed the last boss, and then you went out of that game and went into a new game, and then what did you do? Well, you killed the last boss, because that was pretty much what you did. So, or you use bots and kill Pilskin over and over again. That's something else you could do, of course, if you were a jackass. Well, it's kind of drifting away once again. But this time it was actually Diablo related, so kudos to me. I love talking. I love hearing my voice. I really do. Probably one of the reasons that I'm becoming a teacher. I love literature. I do. I love it. Reading. Not all kind of literature. I can appreciate most of literature. certainly do not love everything. I do not like... actually, chick lit's not my favorite. I had to read... what was it called? It was a movie as well. Oh, Bridget Diary. I think it's not a great book. For me, that is my personal reference. Don't care about what other people think. That's not a valid point for me. It's a valid point if you're going to write a book and let's say what is a good book, you might wonder. Well, it can be stupidly advanced so no one can actually understand that. That's usually considered a good book. You have to read every other book in the whole world before understanding a book. That is usually considered a good book. High literature. I don't know if that's the right term in English, but we have that in Swedish, höglitteratur. That is called. Word for word is high literature. It's that easy. Which more or less means that fewer people that can understand the book, based on, well, you have to have read a lot of other things before. That is the definition of good literature. One can also consider what's good. Well, things that people like. Apparently, if a lot of people find it good, that should be good literature. It necessarily isn't that way, but that's one way to see it. And who am I to judge? You know, I didn't really like that book. It's a decent book, Bridget Diary. Certainly not the greatest book I've read, but still, yeah, it's decent. But I'm really into fantasy, and that is of course why I'm writing about fantasy now. Game of Thrones and Warped Spider Queen. That is my essay, which should be done in 1st week of June, I think. And that might be a bit tricky because there's a game release 2 weeks before that. That might steal a little bit of my time, so I'm actually trying to work on that quite hard right now. Yeah, this video has been nothing about Diablo 3. I'm so sorry, I really am. I should really focus more. Do I have one more dungeon left? I think I do. Yay! I thought about stun, so I will go back to Diablo for the last dungeon at least, because I've been talking a lot about everything else but Diablo. So it's kinda just some kind of background footage. Well, what do I have to say about the wizard? Let's start with that one. What do I have to say about the wizard? I really think it's a great class. I really think it's great fun. And not as thrilling as, say, for example, the Witch Doctor. I think the Witch Doctor is much more thrilling to play. I'm not sure how to explain that. That is the feeling. It feels like that is the word I want to use. It's more interesting. You have to think more. It's not like you're throwing one big blob of death at the things. That is, of course, just my perception based on the beta, and the beta is very, very easy. Even though they doubled the damage from mobs earlier, in a couple patches ago, that didn't make it hard. That just changed it so it's not stupidly easy. You might actually take damage, but that's not really a problem. Even though they opened up the difficulty. It's kind of the same that I really like playing the Barbarian. Because let's do it like this. It's a comparison. If you one might say, well, there's some you can compare the Barbarian and the Monk, because they are two melee characters that are right in the fray and fight. Where one really feels like power units, that is of course the Barbarian, and one feels a bit more gimmicky, a bit more, you know, you have to have you have dodge instead of just absorbing, bits more that kind of tactics. I don't say that Barbarian is not a class that you do not need tactics to play, but it's different tactics. I do not really feel it in the same way. It's more like be beefy rather than being sneaky, let's put it that way. And I feel kind of the same way when I compare the Witch Doctor and the Wizard. Because the Witch Doctor is more of this sneaky thingy. Not in terms of you actually sneak. But a bit more gimmicky. You have your pets. You have strange spells that do strange things. I really love them. That's not the point. I really like the Witch Doctor. I prefer it over the Wizard all days of the week because of this. And it feels like it's not just throwing one big spell, because they have different mechanics. And of course, in this comparison, the Wizard is more of this power unit. You have these big spells, a lot of damage. I can even show. No, I cannot really show you, but there's even perks later on with passive skills that just bring you. Well, you deal more damage, and that's what you get. So it's really a power unit. You deal so much damage. I really like that as well. I'm not saying it's boring. It's just I find the other class, what's it called now, Witch Doctor, a bit more entertaining to play. And both of them are very, very viable in the game as well. So it's just personal preference, which is great. That's how a game should be. It's all about personal preference. And all kind of games. When you choose a game to play, that is also exactly that. Personal preference.
You found the crown. Truth be told,
It doesn't really matter how good a game is, per se. You know, if you look at it objectively, and what people think in general. You can take an example. I love role-playing games. I love Dragon Age. I love Dragon Age 2. I do not love Mass Effect. I'll just take this point before leaving the game. When I'm talking about this with the personal preference, I think it's a very important thing to bring up, because when I read around on the internet, people are whining because people like the wrong game. By the definition that the wrong is what, well, I do not like it, and you like it, and that means that you are wrong. I love Dragon Age. I love Dragon Age 2 as well. I think Dragon Age Origins was a bit more sharp. But I do not really like Mass Effect. I can see how Mass Effect is great, because that amount of people do not love a crappy game. It is great, and I like the idea of it, but I cannot stand the fighting system. I find it boring. When I play that game, I am completely bored. It doesn't really matter how good the story is if I'm just bored. That is, for me, that is a bad game. Even though it's a great game in general, it is not a good game by my preference. In the same way that people did not really like Dragon Age 2. The story is a bit iffy, the controls a bit iffy, the combat system is different. I love the combat system. A lot of people do not like it. I love it. There's just one thing I miss. I cannot zoom out to a tactical view. That is something I hate about the combat system. Other than that, I love it. So, that is a greater game for me than Mass Effect. Doesn't mean that it is great in general. Doesn't really matter. That is what I have fun with. So, yeah, that was my point. Thank you for this very, very strange episode 2 of me playing the Wizard. A lot of, you know, jabbering about pretty much anything, but hope you like it. This will be everything for now. Hopefully I can focus a bit more on Diablo 3 in part number 3. This is Largoplz, and you have seen the part 2 of the Wizard. Goodbye.